Welcome. Welcome to iGod today. I'm Father Soney Sebastian, a Divine Word missionary priest. Today is Good Friday. And I'm sure every year on Good Friday, we go to the church. We participate at the Stations of the Cross. We listen to the Passion narratives, and we have a wonderful celebration of the Good Friday, remembering, commemorating that day when Christ died for all of us. I would like to bring your attention to the passage that we would meditate on, the passage of the Passion narrative from the Gospel of John. I would like to also concentrate on certain aspects of this Passion narrative. Let's look at it. First of all, the trial of Jesus. It's a mockery of power and authority, a complete manipulation of the supremacy of the religious leaders. They were trying to find fault with him because they wanted to get rid of Christ. Then we have Pilate. During the whole trial of Jesus, and we have the person of Pilate, a man who was afraid of losing power. He was like a puppet in the hands of others. Fear and trepidation ruled him. We have the Sanhedrin, the whole cohort of the high priest. They wanted to get rid of Christ because he had criticized them. He had told them that you are not following the commandments, you are not following the directives given by Moses. We have the disciples, the example of real human nature. Faced with difficulties, we tend to be, who tend to flee from truth. True sign that they had not understood their master and his teachings in spite of living with him for 3 years. They surely needed a lot of assistance to learn, to realize, and to understand the depth of the teachings of Christ. We have Peter, Saint Peter, a man of principles and courage. But faced with trials and tribulation, he denies his master not just once, 3 times. He forgets all the promises, a true nature of human being. Wonderful example for our nature where convenience rules. Then we have the way to the Calvary, a replica of our own lives, full of events like a roller coaster. The road is not smooth, it is not paved, but full of rocks, thorns, and thistles. Not many people to help on the way, but many to stand, to laugh at, and to jeer at. Many sympathizers, but very few real companions. Then we have the Simon of Cyrene, true example of our own life situations. We are caught up regularly, unprepared. But some of these events can turn out to be a blessing. Uncertain and anxious, but the end result will be often very encouraging and life-giving. Then we have the women of Jerusalem, simple and poor folks. There's a lot of goodness and love in them. They are helpless, but they have a wonderful heart. Jesus comforts them and prepares them for the worst. Prayer is the best support and companions in the midst of our uncertainties and anxieties. Hold on to it. Then we have the 2 thieves. They were given just punishment for their wrongdoings. One is absolutely arrogant and demanding even at the last moment of his life. There's no remorse in him. The other is full of remorse and sorrow. He sees his mistakes before him. He's ready to change. A true conversion. So he turns to Jesus, and even at that moment, the Lord gives, and the Lord is so generous. He gives him forgiveness and says, "Today you shall be with me in paradise." He stole heaven. So he is given the title Good Thief. Then we have the Blessed Mother, a true depiction of complete surrender. She lived her fiat to the promise of God, I am your handmaid, let it be done to me according to your word. She bore all the pain and sorrow in her heart to be the handmaid of the Lord. The double-edged sword pierced right through her heart, as prophesied by prophet Simeon. She carried the cross along with her son. She who asked him to begin the public ministry now stands by him to give strength to drink the cup of suffering and death. As she stood by her son, she will surely stand by us. Then we have the tomb. Jesus did not own anything in this world. At last, he is buried in a borrowed tomb. What matters in life is not how much we have earned, how big our investments are. What matters in life is how we have lived our life. The veil of the temple is torn in two. The Holy of Holies is thrown open to everyone as Christ breathes his last. God is no longer hidden behind this veil, inaccessible to all but to the high priest, and then only for 1 year. God in Jesus, battered and naked on the cross, is made accessible to all. St. Paul tells us that Jesus emptied himself. He emptied himself of all egoism, of all anger, fear, and anxiety, of all human dignity in the sight of others. He let go of everything, and because he did so, he was fully taken up in union with his Father. For us, it has to be the same. Our lives are so tied up with all kinds of concerns, desires, ambitions, fears, and anxieties. We need to remove these blocks and just let them go. The way is shown clearly in the gospel, and most of all in the way of the cross, the way to Calvary. So, as we celebrate and meditate on the passion of Christ, let's realize that whatever we are going through, we are not alone. As the Blessed Mother stood by the Lord, giving him the courage to face, to drink that cup, she is with us. The same Lord is with us because he walked the way to the Calvary. This is a moment of that Calvary for us. So, let this celebration of the Good Friday make our sufferings meaningful. And let's remember, every Good Friday will definitely lead us to an Easter.